Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu anhu. During the Hajj al-Wada, the farewell Hajj of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was ill. And so the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he visited him. And he said, "O Prophet of Allah, I pray to Allah that I don't die in my homeland." Meaning that he's in Mecca, he was born in Mecca, so you don't want to die in Mecca. And then the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he prayed for him, and Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas at that moment of illness, he said, "O Prophet of Allah, that I bequest from my property that half of it should be going to, that I bequest all my property, all of it should be go to the charity." And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said no. Then he said half of it should be going to charity. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said no. And then he said a third of it should be going to charity. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said a thuluth, which is a third, wa thuluth kathir. A third and a third is too much. It is better for you to leave your children rich, not dependent upon people, rather than for you to leave them poor and destitute. And I read the hadith that Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas, may Allah be pleased with him, said that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came visiting me while I was sick in Mecca. He disliked to die in his homeland, since he already migrated. He, that is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah bestow His mercy upon him. But Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas said, "O Allah Messenger, may I will all of my property be given to charity?" He said, "No." I said, "Then may I will half of it?" He said, "No." I said, "1/3?" He said, "Yes, 1/3, yet even 1/3 is too much. It's better for you to leave your inheritors wealthy than to leave them poor, begging others. And whatever you spend for the sake of Allah will be considered charitable deeds, even if a handful of food you put in your wife's mouth. May Allah bless your lifespan so that some people may benefit from you, and some others may be harmed by you." At that time, Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas had only one daughter. And so after the Prophet ﷺ established that he should only give a third, and a third is too much for charity, the Prophet ﷺ told him about things that he could do that would be charitable. And among them is putting a morsel of food in one's wife's mouth, since they have companionship and they have love together. And then the Prophet ﷺ, he prayed for him that his lifespan be increased and others benefited from him. And his lifespan did increase, and Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas, he was one of the great commanders of the believers, and he's the one that conquered Persia. He's the one that conquered Persia. And so whatever he did was of benefit to him, as the Prophet ﷺ, he said. And others, were harmed by him. That is the enemies and the disbelievers that he encountered in terms of battle, that they were harmed by him. And Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas, he only had one daughter. So we can learn from this hadith that if one bequests from their property, then what is recommended